Fox 35 continuing coverage of our tropical storm Nicole, and boy, things are getting hot and heavy in O-Town.
Things are really starting to heat up. We're seeing those winds picking up. Some folks saying that it is very, very gusty out there and a lot of rain. And our Fox 35 storm tracker radar is doing such a great job at showing all those outer rain bands now moving across the interior. All
righty, Allison, let's go ahead and give you the very latest forecast track on this now. So we had a strike at Vero Beach at approximately 3 a.m. this morning with landfall there. We'll continue moving up the gut of the state, right over near Hernando Pasco counties. 1 o'clock, winds at 50, and then riding up into the Panhandle toward the Big Bend region. We've shed all the hurricane warned areas now, so this is all tropical storm stuff from the coastal zones all the way interior. Now it's pumping right now, right? You got to know, we know what's going on now, but you got to know when things are going to improve. We breathe that sigh of relief when the winds ease, the rains begin to ease on up. I want to give you a look here at our red zone showing around 11 a.m. or so. So that would include Polk County into Osceola, much of Brevard County. Between 1 and 2 p.m. we look for winds to ease, and we've matched this up very tightly and closely with our exclusive Fox model. It has been doing a fantastic job depicting the motion of the storm, the intensity, and when all the ill effects of Nicole will be out of our hair. So that's giving us a clue here, a signal at between 1 and 2 o'clock for Orlando, this strip through here of Volusia County on down to Tampa, and around 3 to 5 p.m. within that time element there for our northwestern counties and into northern Florida. So it will get better. I know it sounds awful outside right now. The pumping rain, the winds are increasing. Look at that rain band here. This is one of the main bands on that northern eye wall, arcing right here. That is now moving through Orlando. That is why conditions have really gone downhill. Our rainfall rates across Volusia County easing now. That's of concern to Allison and myself because of all the flood potential across a lot of those areas that experienced that big 1-2 punch from Ian, still dealing with flooding out there. So we have our close eyes on that right now, and you can see the tracking on this, everything moving off into that westerly direction. As we take a look at those winds, I want to head over to Allison now with more on that element. And Allison, the Fox model doing a great job. We gave the time elements when things improve, but we've got a lot to get through before we get there.
That's exactly right. You're probably hearing those winds howling outside right now as those outer rain bands that Jamie was just showing moving in. So current sustained winds in Orlando at 38 miles per hour. It looks like that's one of the hotter spots, as well as Daytona Beach, and gusts are even higher than that. But we were talking about the last several days that all the impacts starting along our east coast and then pushing off to the west, and we are seeing that now. Take a look at current wind gusts. We said Brevard County could be seeing more than 70, 75 mile per hour gusts, and we are looking at that at the moment in Titusville at 73, 54 mile per hour gusts in Daytona Beach, 59 in Orlando, and starting to bump up in Lake County here, Claremont with 47 mile per hour gusts. And we talk about these winds and the saturated ground potentially knocking out power, and that's exactly what we are seeing. Numbers really starting to bump up in Orange County, about 4,000 without power, and Brevard County still holding steady at about 38,000. Without that, a few hundred in Marion County, as well as out near Cedar Key. So it's something that we will be continuing to watch for you as those numbers do rise. And I do want to take you into our Fox model, talk about the potential for more power outages. We'll take a look at these forecast sustained winds bumping up to about 30, 40, even nearly 50 miles per hour across the interior in Kissimmee and Orlando. Then you can see that those numbers really going to be bumping up in Lake County, Sumter, as well as in Marion by 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And as we head throughout the afternoon hours, like Jamie was showing you, that's when conditions will start to improve, starting along our east coast, and then it will continue across the interior through the evening hours tonight. You can see our Fox model, like we've been talking about, doing such a great job at explaining, Jamie, when we'd be seeing the winds and then when they'd start to decrease. So this is all playing out in front of us live as Nicole is making its way across the viewing area.
So not only a decrease in winds, but a shift in the wind direction, right? So we won't mitigate the flood potential on the coast of the surging entirely, Allison, but we rid ourselves of onshore winds blowing from the Atlantic toward the shoreline. So a lot of ocean swell coming in. We generated humongous waves 2-3 days ago when the Atlantic started getting all ruffled up. That's all coming through now like a freight train. So at least we've got the shift in winds, and we will see improvements eventually, but some rough stuff to get through. We are tracking and keeping all safe across Central Florida. Thank you for your analysis. Nice job this morning, Allison. We'll send it on back to you now.